So obviously we had talked about the situation regarding Malik Beasley of the Detroit Pistons, who had an incredible season, for role player standards. And a report came out a couple months ago that he was subject to, a gambling scandal. And we saw this with Jonte Porter last year with these prop bets that would just keep appearing and mysteriously disappearing, and him having these like really sketchy games, like not playing defense and not making your shots and stuff like that. And then we had an update saying that, he got evicted from his apartment because he hasn't paid rent in 21 months. And things seemed pretty dead in the water for this guy. It just seemed like he was going to get banned from the NBA and things were just going to go off the rails, and he probably could wind up facing the same fate as Jonte Porter, who has his sentencing trial, I think in October, regarding the result of his thing, because his is a federal case.
Wow.
So not good. But we're going to put a tweet on the screen from Shams Charania right now that says, breaking, Malik Beasley is no longer a target of the federal gambling investigation conducted by the Eastern District of New York. His attorneys Steve Haney and Mike Schatcher told ESPN. This potentially reopens free agency for one of the NBA's top shooters. Shams went on to quote this tweet and said Beasley's attorneys told ESPN that they have had extensive conversations and meetings with the Eastern District of New York and were informed Beasley is not being considered the target after allegations regarding gambling on NBA games and prop bets during the 2023-24 seasons. Now remember, I said target with a lot of emphasis because he's not out of the woods yet. We'll put another tweet on the screen from NBA Central. This came out yesterday. At the time we're recording this on, 27th is today? And it says, Malik Beasley is still under investigation in the gambling probe and could still face charges. He's not fully in the clear. He's just no longer considered a target. So maybe, maybe Jonte's the target as like the ringleader of this whole gambling sting. Malik Beasley could just be collateral with this. We don't know. But he remains a subject, meaning his conduct is still under review and charges are still possible, something his lawyers have acknowledged.
But a lot less likely.
A lot,
you say that?
A lot less likely, I think, is the best way to put it as far as Law and Order-esque. But I guess if you're Malik Beasley, this is a slight weight off your shoulders. I guess it's off one. There's still another one here that could still, it's a little bit lighter, but it could still,
Right.
knock you down.
It's kind of like he was in pretty murky water. Now it's starting to slowly clear up, but it's not fully clear
It's not
yet.
clean yet.
Yeah.
So, I mean, listen, this is a plus because we've seen a lot of gambling. Now, we're also waiting for a big gambling thing with the Cleveland Guardians to come out, but that has still under investigation. That's baseball, but that's a whole team issue going on there. But back to basketball. Again, major win for Malik, even if it's a small win, because we want to see some positivity out of this because we know some guys could be falsely accused for things like this. Not saying that he did or did not do anything, but again, a small win is a win regardless. We know Jonte was guilty for everything because there was so much evidence on him. Malik was kind of thrown at us. We kind of didn't know what was going on because no one didn't tweet about certain bets. Some of the play was questionable. Could it be bad basketball? Absolutely. It's people play bad games all the time. We've seen so many just crazy things happen.
Yeah.
But the rent thing is interesting. Wherever that came from, I think that was from NBA Central. If that is true, that's again another charge because that's eviction. Rent.
Well, it's not a charge. You're just
He got kicked out.
Yeah.
He got kicked out. Yeah, he didn't pay his rent.
But this isn't the first time Malik Beasley's been involved with the law. I mean,
Exactly.
he is, not the greatest human being outside of basketball. Obviously, this gambling stuff right now is alleged. Everything's allegedly because you are innocent until proven guilty in this country. But if things look fishy, I'm not going to treat you like you're the Pope. I'm going to hold you accountable for your actions based on, how everything's viewed and the evidence that's come out.
I guess based on what your gut is telling you as
exactly, yeah.
Do you think he did it or not?
I don't know.
I guess that's the question.
I can't really say if I know or not, but he doesn't. He has a track record of other things.
Yeah.
Across his record that
Like-
we're not going to talk about on the show.
He got into serious trouble before COVID.
Yeah, before a lot of things, he's been in trouble. I remember this is like his first good season in the NBA.
Yeah.
So he's been dealing with a lot of stuff over the course of the years. But Gio, what's your thoughts on this whole situation?
Well, I was kind of going to say what you were going to say, and I was going to say my gut is telling me that he does have some involvement, but once again, that's my gut.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's been wrong in this show if you guys have been watching for the past year or so. So I could be wrong. Like, he could be innocent, and if he is innocent, then it's a doggone shame that we're saying all these bad things about him. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's the hard part with, especially in the social media age. If there's anything that comes out about you and it's alleged, everyone automatically says it becomes fact. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's not. It becomes fact too quickly, and it attaches itself to your name. So even if he does come out as being innocent,
Yeah.
everyone's always gonna have that. You know, there's always gonna be like a dark cloud over him where it's like, yeah, you're involved with gambling in some way or some form.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the only thing.
It's tough when it comes to stuff like that because we've seen in the past there's been situations handled bad on both sides of the spectrum where people will blame the person too quickly, but then people also won't listen to the victims of certain situations. And that's why social media has become just a big, like, it's 50-50 because we don't know. And that's why we wait for evidence to come out. And it shows, like, that play against when he was on the Bucks. I think it was against Minnesota when he just let someone just go right by him.
Yeah.
Like, that's fishy. And
That was during the bubble.
exactly. No, it was during the
No?
season afterwards when there was no one in the stands or when there was like 2,000
okay.
people.
You're talking about when he was guarding and then
He just
Yeah.
he just
stopped
froze.
and just let them go by.
I mean, that happens. I can explain that in a basketball way. Like,
Yeah.
maybe he thought a screen was coming. Maybe someone shouted and said screen left, and
Right.
he didn't move, and he waited for the screen and waited for the switch. You know,
Like I said,
that could happen.
we won't know. What I am really curious to hear from you, Gio, is if this does go to a trial. I'm curious, like, what would the meaning of the verdict mean to you? 'Cause remember, there's three options. There's either guilty, not guilty, or innocent. If he's not guilty, could that potentially result in some form of repercussions? Because there is a difference between not guilty and guilty. You still could have some involvement,
You're
but
talking
maybe
about not
that
guilty and innocent.
correct. Because maybe not guilty could mean you're involved, but nothing was criminally done as far as like an offense of like a conviction.
Interesting. So if you're not guilty, you're still involved. I don't.
No, I don't think.
understand.
No, not necessarily. I'm looking up.
I thought not guilty meant that you were innocent.
No, not guilty is different.
Interesting. I didn't
So
know that.
in legal terms, innocent means you are not guilty of a crime, while not guilty means the prosecution failed to prove the charges beyond a reasonable doubt. So if you're not guilty, it's kind of like if there's an out of bounds call off of the Knicks and they say it's the Nets ball, it could be very well off of the Nets, but there might not be enough evidence to overturn it. So they'll just roll with the call on the field.
I got you.
So that's what I'm trying to get at.
Right. So there's
So-
not enough evidence to prove him guilty.
Exactly. So what
He
I mean,
could be guilty.
what do you think of how do you think this will play out?
I mean, time will tell, man. Like, if it comes out that he's not guilty, well, like you just said, that just means there's not enough evidence to prove him to be guilty.
Exactly.
And then time will tell, right? Evidence will always come to the surface, and then, eventually, if there is evidence of him being guilty of gambling and all that stuff, then, the law will
Yeah.
do its job.
Listen, I mean, I agree with you on that, but I know, like, I want to get off topic from the player, and I want to talk just brief on the bigger issue that this isn't. Yes, it's the player's fault, but the biggest issue about it is that the leagues have too much right in gambling right now, in sponsorships from FanDuel, DraftKings, a lot of things, and it's always broadcasted every single game. And players don't get NIL stuff from them, but the league promotes the sports betting sites and world so much that these players have, they're humans too. They make mistakes, but if you're promoting something so much, people have minds that, they can possibly get away with it or get caught like Jonte did. People will always find a paper trail to certain things. So again, you have to keep in mind as a player of any sport, there's a lot of media attention and fan attention on you. So the paper trail will always kind of follow you. For us as casuals, sports betting is not against anything we do. So we're just living our lives. But as players, there's another right there they got to take on and know that they cannot be doing any sort of type of betting regarding. But again, I blame the NBA a little bit. They shove it down our throats too much, and it needs to be backtracked because a lot of sports betting sponsors outside of, I wanted to talk about internationally, European soccer, any sports betting sponsors on TV immediately get shut down. They hate sports betting on anything of their jerseys, their TV. They literally shut it down. because they want no sports betting rights on anything related to their teams or leagues.
I mean, there was a big scandal with the Italian national team a couple of years ago with the betting. I think Tonali got banned for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
Really?
And
The
you
Italians
got-
did that?
Yeah,
You
and
guys got in trouble.
and
yeah.
there's even bans like in the Europa League. There's bans on on betting sponsors. When West Ham won the Conference League that year, they had to go into those games away without the Betway sponsor on their jersey. And it's it kind of reminds me. It's like, say you worked at a restaurant. It's like you're not allowed to eat their food. That's kind of really what it reminds me of, because like the food's in your face. They put these FanDuel, DraftKings, BetMGM, Underdog, you name it.
Even on the
You got
court.
it.
Even on the court, the sponsors.
All-
like,
everything.
front and center.
Like the fact that, and this is where it gets even worse with the TV deals, because we just saw it's like a $70 billion TV contract for the next 11 years with the NBA. The problem is, outside of the national providers, like you obviously have your NBCs and you have ESPN and you have all that stuff. The problem is a lot of teams don't have the rights to their regional broadcasters anymore. We're lucky because we can watch NBC, MSG, and yes, to watch the Nets and the Knicks in the New York, New Jersey area.
Yep.
But so many of the companies now that broadcast like the Hawks or the Spurs or whoever, it's all ran under sports betting companies. Bally's. Diamond Sports had Bally's as the sponsor. For those that don't know what Bally's is, it's a casino. I know they have one in Atlantic City, and they went bankrupt.
They went bankrupt.
They were bought out by, you guessed it, FanDuel, and it's now the FanDuel Sports Network.
Wow.
So sports betting is everywhere,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
it's
because
huge.
there's so much, so lucrative, the players they're so tempted by it because it's just extra money. And the NBA is one thing, but if you're a minor league baseball player making $10,000 a year, it's something that's going to entice you. But, most athletes thankfully have the integrity of not doing that, because you have a direct impact on those results.
Yeah.
And that is a conflict of interest, and that cannot
Definitely.
happen. But we'll
Yeah.
close the segment with this. Antoine, where will Malik Beasley sign if he does return to the NBA?
Oh, listen. He is coming.
Pause.
He is signing with
There you go.
my team in New York. We need another shooter. Perfect guy.
Oh, the Brooklyn Nets.
Yes.
Oh my God. Why would he go there?
Yes.
You said
Dude,
my team.
honestly, we have you seen our roster, bro? We're so controversial. He'd fit right in.
If I'm being honest, I think he goes back to Detroit because they already have the contract ready for him.
Yeah.
Because like Duncan Robinson doesn't really turn the needle for anybody. Neither does Harris LeVert.
I mean, Malik Beasley doesn't either, but
Yeah, but no,
think
I would.
Beasley's better.
I would love if he came.
Duncan's played in 2 finals.
Yeah, but
I
he's
would-
washed.
He
I
won
would-
them a finals game.
I would love if he came to the Knicks. That's like a dream.
Yeah, you guys
but
need shooting.
I think Detroit's the most feasible one. I can't see him going anywhere else. I don't think any team would probably throw money at him because of what's going on.
Oh, there's teams interested.
Oh, I would think so, but I think they want to wait till everything clears up. I would throw like San Antonio in there. I would throw the Lakers in there.
Wow.
Lakers love controversy.
They do.
The Lakers hated Malik Beasley when he was there.
Really? They
Remember, he
did.
came over from
Was
the
he in
Russell
Los
Westbrook trade.
Angeles? He was.
So he was
He was
in
bad,
he was in
though.
Minnesota, and when Russell Westbrook got traded to the Jazz, the Lakers they got D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley,
Okay.
and Jared Vanderbilt from Minnesota.
Yeah.
Or Jared Vanderbilt may have came from Utah, but same thing pretty much, because it was a
Yeah.
3-team deal between those 3 teams, and then
Got
Russ
it.
got bought out. And then I think the Wolves had gotten Mike Conley in that trade. It was a whole big mess. But so far, the
If-
Wolves and the Pistons have been the ones touching base with Malik Beasley at the moment. He
The
played for both.
Wolves is
I was
interesting
thinking the
because
Wolves.
they have history with him. He's been there a few years.
Yeah.
And he would be nice off the bench for them, for sure.
He would be.
Yeah, I don't know, because we're waiting on some guy. We're still waiting on the RFAs to sign, hopefully soon. We're waiting on Al Horford. Who knows? But that's pretty much it. And Malik, of course, now as well. I don't know. We'll have to see it. Then give it a few more weeks. I would hope by September maybe it's solved before training camp starts for these guys.
You don't know, man.
For
It's-
Malik.
It's tough.
It is tough. We don't know because right now the news Shams' summer of extravaganza has kind of been
Whack.
not extravaganza.
It's been like a big flop,
Yeah, that's it.
pretty much.
Yeah.
But you say Minnesota, Gio?
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking Minnesota, but I think the most likely place for him is Detroit.
Yeah, I think because remember when Antoine said that he went into Trajan Langdon's office and said, "Don't trade me."
Yep.
And because the Pistons kept a roster spot open with the intention of signing Malik Beasley, says a lot. And I think I think the mutual interest is going to win overall.
Yeah.
And I think that's where he's going to wind up.
And I think the Pistons are the most knowledgeable team on what's going on.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
For having
considering
him already there.
He was there. But
Yeah.
I think it's the best case scenario for everyone involved is it for all to be done and over with by the time the season starts. Because, if this is still going on, it could affect his mental and that could affect the product on the floor.
And the team as well, yeah.
Exactly.